home on the school train. I knew all the drivers' names. Mrs. Gibson would meet us at the gate. I dragged my bag past the scout hall, built by my father-in-law. We used to collect bottles there at the age of 8. On the left is the fire hall with the truck that my father drove. 62 was the year the people fought the blaze. The war memorials on my right-hand side, where I would march with my national pride. I'd wear the medals that my grandfather died for. When I was young, I spent a quarter of my life in the Glen. And now I'm in my middle years, I remember them. The hill to the old lady's house, phone calls with washers, hang out on the steps of the Grand. Yarra Glen Motors and the Chevy we owned, the Stewie Baker Blitz and the Yarra Glen Show. Next stop was the town butcher, Mr. Only Always Way. How Butch, how you going? Always past the time of day. Mr. Phillips had a second-hand store at the back of the bank. There were lots of things that I got there, lots of things that should have took back. Foodland was a general store, fireworks for sale. In the old days, you just let them off down the lane. When I was young, I spent a quarter of my life in the Glen. Now I'm in my middle years, I remember them. Next up was Henry Smith's, where my mother would work some days. Down past the Church of England, where nobody ever seemed to pray. And the Memorial Hall, so important in my teenage years. I remember the fighting and the tears and the fears. Up the hill to the Harris boys' house, with Hubble, Nigel and Chris. Whatever happens, I'll always remember this. So thanks, Mom and Dad, for the years when I never really had to try. For how you kept things steady. Do you realize when you were young, you spent a quarter of your life in the Glen? And now you're in your older years, do you remember them? When you were young, you spent a quarter of your life in the Glen. And 50 years later, do you remember them? When I was young, I spent a quarter of my life in the Glen. And 50 years later, I remember them.